Hello everyone, so I'm going to be doing a movie review for Halloween, if you can tell by the title. This is the new movie, obviously, not Halloween 1978, not Halloween 2007, this is Halloween 2018. The third Halloween movie that's called Halloween. A little backstory for me, I've been a huge Halloween fan pretty much since I was probably middle school, I think. I used to watch the AMC marathons they would do for the Halloween movies late at night when, I was definitely not old enough to watch them. Uh, in particular, I'm a fan of the first Halloween, Halloween 4, and Halloween 5. I know a lot of people don't like Halloween 4 and 5, but I have a soft spot for those two. The Jamie Lloyd movies, right? Um, those were kind of also a reboot, sort of. But anyways, yeah, the first Halloween movie is a classic. I guess you could say it's a masterpiece. I don't know. Sorry, I got a new thing here in my car to what do you call it? A mount. There you go. Yeah, I have a new one, so it's kind of on my dashboard as opposed to my windshield. Anyways, so the first Halloween movie is great. The second one is okay for me. I don't really like it that much. It's a good continuation, definitely. Um, but I don't really go back to that one that much. But it's okay. The third Halloween movie I've actually never seen, Season of the Witch, because it has nothing to do with Michael Myers. So I've never seen it, but I hear it's bad. So Halloween 4 and 5, like I said, I have nostalgia for those two. They're not, especially Halloween 5. That one's not really that good. Um, it's been a long time since I've seen those, so I need to like rewatch them. But Halloween 4 and 5, I have nostalgia for, so I like those. Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, horrible movie. Oh my god. I watched it once, and oh god, that movie is uh, it's really bad. And then after that was Halloween H2O. I thought that was pretty good. Great ending. If you haven't seen it, spoilers. Oh, for this movie review for the new Halloween, I won't talk about spoilers until the end of the video, so don't worry about that. I won't spoil anything until I say, oh, here's the spoiler section. So Halloween H2O was pretty good. The ending was good. Laurie cuts Michael's head off, and that's like literally the best ending you could ask for. But then, of course, Halloween Resurrection had to change up all that, and that movie was a mess. Busta Rhymes and you know, bad acting and man. Yeah, the only thing I like about Halloween Resurrection is the stuff with Jamie Lee Curtis, but it's not that much. It's only barely in the movie. And then after that, there was the Rob Zombie remake, which I actually like. And then his sequel, Halloween 2, which is like a crazy movie. Like, I haven't watched it since probably it first came out back in 2009. When I first bought the DVD for it was 2009. I haven't gone back to watch it since, I think, but from what I remember, that was a crazy movie. Um, but I do plan on, for the month of October, going back and rewatching all of them and probably doing like a ranking video. But those are like my basic thoughts on the whole series, right? So I'm kind of like a casual fan. But the first Halloween in particular, I have the VHS tape for still. And I watched that VHS tape so many times back in the day. So the first movie is like, I love it. So for this one, they were like, okay, we're retconning the whole series. Halloween 2, all the way through whatever, Resurrection, the remakes, everything does not count. So this is a direct sequel to the first one. And it's the third Halloween movie called Halloween, which is pretty funny. So it's not a remake. It is a sequel, but it's like a reboot sequel. It's weird. I don't know if there's ever been anything like that. Well, Halloween H2O was like that, right? Yeah, it kind of deleted Halloween. Well, I guess you could say Halloween 3. Halloween 3 through Curse of Michael Myers. It deleted all that. So it's kind of like H2O, but now this one's H4O, I guess you could say, because it's 40 years after. But overall, I thought the movie was really good. When I left the theater, by the way, I watched the movie last night. Normally I do my movie reviews like right after I see the movie. But I saw it late last night, and I had to be up early for school today, so I was like, I'm not going to record a video right now, so it's going to be a late review either way, because the movie came out on Friday, and today's Monday. So either way, it's a late review. But anyways, I'm recording it now. So yeah, I saw it last night, and when I left the theater, I wasn't disappointed. I was just kind of like, I thought it was gonna be better, but what it was though, now that I'm like thinking about it, it was actually really good. Like I can't complain really. For what it is, like, you know, it's a Blumhouse movie. If you don't know Blumhouse, they make the Purge movies. They made Get Out. They're pretty much like the new, I guess you could say, well, New Line Cinema had Freddy, Paramount had Jason. It's like the new horror company. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're like the new kings of horror. They make, you know, the Happy Death Day movies. They make, I believe do they make the Conjuring movies? No, that's different. The Conjuring was Warner Brothers, right? I think Blumhouse is Universal. Yeah. But Blumhouse, they're like doing really well right now. So they had control over the Halloween, you know, the new Halloween movie with, you know, John Carpenter returning as a producer and also doing the music. Jamie Lee Curtis coming back. But yeah, it's just an awesome movie that really is what we deserve after all these years of like terrible sequels and like failed remakes and reboots and all that stuff. So this is like the definitive sequel we needed, right? And yeah, like I said, I think it delivered. There's only like a couple minor complaints, which I'll get into the spoilers, I guess. I don't know if they're spoilers. I don't know. Like, I kind of expected more of Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, there was plenty of her in the movie, don't get me wrong, but I was expecting more of like sort of like I don't know, more time with her. There is time with her in the movie, but like there's a lot of focus on other characters too that she kind of takes a back seat in a way, but not really. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sure you've all seen the movie by now. It's like I said, this is a late review. But yeah, overall, I thought it was really good. The action, or not action, I should say, the horror was really good. The kills were good. You know, Michael Myers has never been like one of those killers where he has these elaborate kills. Jason has elaborate kills. Freddy has elaborate kills. But Michael's pretty much are basic stabbing or whatever. This one, actually, there's one kill in particular in this movie that was really good. If you've seen the movie, you might know what I'm talking about already. I'll talk about it in the spoilers. Specifically, but most of the kills were basic and they were fine, but overall I thought Michael was really handled well in this. He was very intimidating, very menacing, just really just a really menacing guy, like no stopping him. You really did feel like he was pure evil in this one for sure. But yeah, I would say it's a worthy sequel. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can say anything else non-spoiler. But for my rating, I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10. Solid B. Wasn't an A, like I was hoping. But it's okay. It's not a C either, so solid B, 8 out of 10. I don't know if I have anything else to say. I'm trying to think. Yeah, just... it's really good. And I gotta say, some parts actually felt like John Carpenter directed it. Like certain scenes. But most of it you could tell was different. Like it was a different... I'm not familiar with the director. I think his name's David Gordon Green. I don't know any of his stuff, I think. But you could tell it's a different, you know, director. But certain parts are very much like John Carpenter style. Which is cool. So, but yeah, it fit in well. Like the way they use the old music too and his new music was really awesome. There's a lot of moments that use certain cues from the first movie, certain music cues, you know, the da-da-da. I can't recreate it, you know. It's like I guess it's like a synthesizer noise. You know what I'm talking about, that noise. I don't know, that was horrible. But there's certain parts of the music that are used well in it that are like really cool. The noise I'm making is like, you know, in the beginning of the first Halloween, when he's killing his sister, I believe that noise happens during that part. But yeah, anyways, yeah. Really good movie, 8 out of 10. So, if you haven't seen it, leave this review right now and come back later because I'm going to talk about spoilers. So yeah, spoiler alert right now. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So my favorite kill was the doctor guy. Oh, I actually should have talked about him a little bit in the non-spoiler part, because I should mention you could really tell they were trying to do like a Dr. Loomis kind of thing with him. And they even say that he worked with Loomis before, he passed away or whatever. But this guy was acting a lot like Loomis, like his like voice and stuff, and the way he like talked, was very much like Loomis. I wish they kind of did a little, they kind of like made him a little different than that, but it's okay. But his death was awesome, where Michael stepped on his head, and that was really good. That was my favorite death in the movie. But yeah, Michael was brutal. Like, Jesus, he was no joke. And, he killed that kid to get the car. And you know what I noticed, too? That one scene where he kills a lady in her house with a hammer, and then she has a baby, and he walks past the baby. Everyone in the theater you could tell, was kind of like, oh, God, he's going to kill a baby. I wonder if they did that on purpose, because, like, the filmmakers, they didn't have to put a baby in the movie right there in that scene, right? I think they did that just to show that Michael has some sort of control, I guess. He has some sort of, okay, I won't go there, you know what I mean? Even though he is pure evil. Yeah, they didn't have to put a baby in there. So for those of you who are saying, like, oh, he should have killed the baby, I mean, obviously, they won't kill a baby. That's just horrible. But for those of you who are saying, oh, he should have killed the baby, it makes no sense. Well, I guess you can complain about the filmmakers for putting a baby in there, because they didn't have to. I think they did that to say Michael has a certain standard to where he has a certain line that he won't cross, right? So I thought that was interesting. And I gotta mention, too, I actually did like a lot of the characters. I liked Laurie's daughter and granddaughter. Also, the husband of the daughter, he was funny. And then the little black kid that was being babysitted, he was awesome. He was the funniest character in the movie. And I think I heard in some reviews, some people thought the comedy was a little much in the movie. I don't think so. I think it was good enough. It was in there enough to balance out because it's obviously like a horror movie. It's kind of a bleak thing. So you have to have little spurts of comedy in there. And I think it worked. I don't think it was too much. But some characters I didn't like were the boyfriend and that one guy that was trying to get with Laurie's granddaughter. He ended up getting killed. Excuse me. But the boyfriend, I don't know what happened to him. He like disappeared in the movie. I was hoping Michael would kill him, but he kind of just disappeared after the dance thing, right? The dance at the high school. I don't know what happened with him. I really was hoping he'd get killed because he was a jerk. And then also, the twist with the doctor. At first, I was just like, oh no, I don't know if I like this. But the more I think about it, it kind of makes sense because I think they set it up to where the doctor was actually the guy that caused Michael to escape. Because like the doctor's goal was to like, okay, let's get Laurie and Michael to meet. Because he's been spending how many countless years researching Michael, never hearing a word from Michael. And the last thing he says before Michael crushes his head is like, say something. And then, that's his life's work, right? So I can see the motivation, right? But I don't know if he's going to go as far as to kill somebody, put on the mask, and start acting crazy. I don't know. That was a little over the top. But I don't mind it so much now, I think, now that I think about it. But when I saw it, like right when I saw it, I was just like, oh no, this is weird. But yeah, it makes sense. The doctor was like, when they were getting onto the bus, he's like, oh, I'm going to get on the bus with my patient until he's in somebody else's care. So you could tell he's the one that caused the accident. And during the movie, too, I was like, why are they focusing so much on the doctor? And then they reveal the twist, and I was like, oh. After the crash, they're focusing on the doctor a lot. I'm like, why are they doing this? I understand he's kind of the Loomis character, but we don't really need this. It's supposed to be about Laurie versus Michael. But I get it now that he's the one that orchestrated it, I guess. So yeah, I like the fact that Michael didn't just escape or whatever by himself. He actually had help to do it. Because, it's like the guy planned it. And you know what's weird, too? Somebody made a good point. I don't remember if it was Chris Stuckman's review or somebody else. It might have been Chris Stuckman. Or no, was it? I don't know. But somebody pointed out, why would they be transporting Michael on October 30th of all days? There's 365 days in a year. And of all days for you guys to be transporting, the inmates to another facility, it has to be on October 30th? Seriously? And then he gets out, the next day's Halloween and, like, really? That really is kind of a problem, isn't it? Well, obviously, yeah, it's possible that it could, be October 30th of all days, but still, it's very unlikely. I mean, come on. Um, but I get it. I get why they did that. So that's kind of weird. But it's not like they can have an explanation for it, right? It just happens. It just happened to be October 30th, I guess. But that's funny to think about. But yeah, Michael was ruthless in this. That's what I liked about it. It was very brutal. And yeah, I like the stuff. Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode. She had the whole trap set up in her house, the doors that close in each room, and that scene. By the way, when I was referencing that noise, when she's laying on the ground and Michael turns away and looks back and she's gone. A nice reference to the first movie, the ending of the first movie. They play that noise when she disappears. That was really cool musical cue. So they utilized the old music really well in this. It really felt like a tribute, like a proper tribute. And the opening credits were awesome with the orange text. It looked like the first movie. And it showed the pumpkin, but like it was rotted, but it came back to life, sort of. Kind of like the franchise. So, a perfect intro, yeah, just a lot of great stuff in it. Great tributes. And did you notice, too, I never saw Halloween 3, but they had an Easter egg with the kids wearing the masks from Halloween 3. The witch mask, the pumpkin mask, and then the skull mask. Silver Shamrock, right? I've never seen the movie, but I know some of the details. But yeah, really great stuff in this. Great Easter eggs, great references. And they had the original actor who played Michael Myers do a cameo in one scene, wearing the costume and everything, Nick Castle. It was the scene where, I think it's when Laurie first sees Michael in the movie. When she sees upstairs through the window, she sees Michael looking at her, and then she shoots, and it's actually just a reflection. That was Nick Castle during that one shot where they see each other. But the rest of the movie, it's a different actor. And I'm sure, too, when I buy the movie on Blu-ray, 4K or whatever, and I pause it, you could probably see Michael's face in some parts, because they had his mask off for a lot of the movie, actually, in separate occasions as well. But there's like quick flashes, you could probably see his face. I assume it's just the actor's face with probably some makeup, right? A little scar makeup from, getting stabbed and whatnot in the first movie. But yeah, I'm sure if you pause it at certain parts, you could probably see the face. But yeah, really great stuff. And I gotta talk about the ending. Okay, so the ending, I get why they did it. Obviously, they're gonna do another one. I even read something to where I think Blumhouse said if the movie does well, we're gonna do a sequel. And I wonder, are they gonna call it Halloween 2? I doubt they'll do it because it's gonna be the third one technically in this continuity, right? So they can't. What are they gonna call it? Halloween 3? It's going to go Halloween, Halloween, Halloween 3. And it's going to be a proper Halloween 3, unlike the first Halloween 3, which wasn't, Michael Myers. No, they'll probably call it Halloween whatever, like a subtitle. But I hope they don't do it, because I thought this was like a perfect closing conclusion. Because I doubt they're going to get Jamie Lee Curtis again. I doubt they'll get John Carpenter again. I doubt, all this stuff. But who knows? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I hope they just keep it at this. But the ending, like I said, they didn't specifically show Michael getting killed. It was similar to Halloween 2, where he gets blown up, an explosion, I guess, the fire. But at least in Halloween 2, you can actually see his body burning. But then all of a sudden, he's alive again in Halloween 4. He's just been in a coma or something like that. So, I don't know. If this movie truly wanted to say, okay, he's dead, they would have shown a dead body. But even then, you got to think, Halloween H2O, he gets his head cut off, and yet there's been 4 more movies since then. You know what I'm saying? Even though 2 are remakes, and this one's technically a reboot. Okay, Halloween Resurrection is the only follow-up to that, I guess, whatever. But still, even when Michael gets his head cut off, there's still going to be a possible sequel. So that's what I'm saying. And then they tried to say in Resurrection it was somebody else. I mean, it's stupid. But that's the only way to get Michael back, because they wanted to make a sequel. But yeah, even if they showed the body getting burned or whatever, there's still a chance he could be alive. So no matter what, they could always make a sequel. It doesn't matter if he gets blown to a million pieces. So it doesn't really matter, to be honest. And I'm sure they're going to do a sequel. But still, great ending. And I love the shot, too, when the fire's about to engulf Michael. He's looking right at Laurie. You can actually see his eyes. I thought that was a beautiful shot. But yeah, just very solid movie. I really enjoyed it. 8 out of 10. So anyways, 20 minutes. Did I miss out on anything? Did I not talk about something specifically you wanted to hear about? Just leave a comment below, whatever. Let me know what you thought of the movie. If you're going to mention spoilers, make sure you say spoilers before you type anything so people know. And yeah, just let me know what you thought of the movie and what you give it as a rating. So anyways, thanks for watching this, and have a good one. Bye-bye.